everybody. My name's Alexandra.
And I'm Angelica.
Welcome to
Legends of Yesterday.
I did it wrong. And this is Legends of Yesterday, where we talk about histories, mysteries, and ghost stories here in Florida.
Florida.
And I know what you're thinking. Alexandra, Angelica, this is season 3.
Season 3?
Oh, it's season 3.
We named our season?
Well, this is the 3rd season. You can very distinctly categorize our episodes. Yeah. You're still talking about Florida? Yes, my friend. We're still talking about Florida. Why? It's weird here. So there's a lot of things to talk about.
I was literally this weekend talking to like 2 different groups of people.
Yeah.
And I was telling them that we've been doing this. And they're like, you're doing that many episodes? I'm like, yeah, Florida is that weird.
Florida
have that much to talk about.
That much information in
and
it.
I was going on Facebook and I found even more, like at this point, it's a because of AI and stuff, like, listen, Florida Man has always been weird, but like I can't tell anymore if it's AI or if it's a Florida Man story. Like, one Florida Man story has a guy chucking an alligator through a drive-through window.
It's believable.
But I forget what this one was. It was like he married a peacock or something.
That's also believable.
No. He cooked his peacock.
Okay.
Which then someone in the comments was like, well, if it was a chicken, no one would have batted an eye. So it's like pretty privileged.
Floridians used to eat peacocks all the time.
Yeah, it's another bird.
Yeah.
I would never because I'm pescatarian, but I get it.
Yeah.
But is that AI or is that like a real story? You know what I mean?
Feels real.
Right?
Only because it's believable.
Right.
Isn't that crazy? Disappointing, but I believe it. Oh man. Yeah. Season 3. This has been a wild ride starting up this podcast again, because for those of you some of you have been with us since the beginning, which thank you so much for coming back.
We love you.
Took a 2-year hiatus to start our in-person ghost tours here in Davie. So, since that's been up and running, we started doing the podcast again because we missed it.
And now we're back from outer space. Blah, blah, blah.
Well, this is episode, I don't remember because I always figure out when I'm editing. Okay. So we are going to be talking today. Remember, Angelica has no idea what I'm about to talk about. Next month, I'll have no idea what Angelica's about to talk about.
Okay. Full disclaimer to our audience. I kind of have an idea of what we might be talking about because our mother...
Oh, of course she did.
She gave it away.
I can't have an informant. You know what I mean?
The place I think it's going to be, our parents just had their anniversary vacation. So sweet.
Yes.
Over there. And
I'm still going to act like this is new information because that's sad.
Well, I try to keep the detail. I told her, I can't be listening to what you're telling me, what you're excited about right now, because this is going to, because she said she was sending this to you for the episode. And then as soon as she said that, I was like, you can't tell me that.
Yeah.
So I don't know the details, but I know where we're going to be, if that makes sense.
Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego going today in Florida? Well, we are going to visit the history-rich Mount Dora.
What?
I hate you. All right, everybody. Mount Dora. Why Mount Dora? Well, I had something else planned actually for this month.
What was
and that now it's my next one.
Close.
And I had originally had something else planned, and then our parents told us that they were going to be visiting Mount Dora. I had never heard of Mount Dora before. So they were telling me about it, and then they go, oh, there's like a lot of stuff over there. And our mom sent me this TikTok, and it's like the dark side of Mount Dora. And I'm like, what? So
because it's a mountain. Because there's a light side where the sun hits and the shadow that's cast on the other side.
So anyways, Mount Dora is an extremely history-rich area. But I am excited because they were over there. So we're going to be using some of the footage that they had sent us in our next episode.
Including the ghost.
Maybe.
Okay.
If I get permission.
Also, disclaimer. So something to look forward to for the next episode.
Possibly the Conspira parents.
So we have characters called the Conspira sisters.
Yes.
and we use them for our ghost tours and some videos that you might find on YouTube. And they sent us videos of them exploring their hotel hallways as the conspiracy parents. So maybe, I guess, this might make an appearance in the next episode.
I hope so. I hope I get permission for this. If not, we'll do a play-by-play. But some of the references that we're going to be getting today are from the Mount Dora historical website. It's the Mount Dora government website, the Mount Dora Historical Society website, and also some of the like American Legion. And yeah, there's a lot of different references.
I know I'm taking away from the topic a little bit. I just want to draw attention to your shirt. Dost thou even lift?
No, dost thou even hoist?
I'm sorry, I can't stop looking in it. At it. Not in it. At it.
You're looking in it?
Yeah, well, in the scenery of it.
Dost thou even hoist?
Yeah, because I keep looking at your boobage area because that's where the dragon is. And I'm like the camera's going to pick up that I'm literally looking
that you're staring at my boobs?
Yes.
Guys, my sister's looking at my boobs.
Incest.
Ew.
What did I watch? Oh, we watched...
we watched... What was that British movie? That's the last thing we're going to talk about because I really want to get started.
The movie that we watched was Fackham Hall. And it's like this cheesy British comedy.
It is incredibly funny.
But it's really funny because like obviously aristocracy and like kings, queens, whatever.
It features J.R.R. Tolkien.
There's a lot of incest that happens. So yeah, like the whole movie was about incest and it was really funny. I would recommend. It's a fun, chill comedy.
It's a nice, relaxing comedy to watch that you don't have to think much. Although some of the jokes are very quick. Mm-hmm. So if you're not paying attention, you do miss like a lot.
That's a lot of fun.
You have to pay attention.
That's something I kind of miss from comedies. Like obviously we're in this new age, which is awesome with like dramedy, but I kind of miss like every page has to have like, or every so many seconds has to have a joke.
Yeah, there was a bit in like almost every 5 seconds.
So that was enjoyable to see.
Anyways, let's talk about the city of Mount Dora.
Here we go.
Now, the city of Mount Dora is located more north or middle of Florida because it is only about 30 something minutes away from Orlando. Ooh. So some people actually consider it to be Orlando. Yeah.
Am I going to Disney? Am I going to Mount Dora?
I don't know. But if you live in Mount Dora, you are from Mount Dora. You are not from Orlando.
Okay, got it. Noted.
So you have to respect it.
I guess so.
So let's start from the beginning. Mount Dora, how did it even get its name?
Okay. Not Dora the Explorer, I'm guessing. Okay.
No, not her. I will be also featuring some pictures from the websites of the city of Mount Dora and also their archives because they have all these archives that are really cool of all these pictures of their history.
I love it when sites have that like rich archive because it's like you talk about these people and then you get to see them.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. Mm-hmm. And if there's any photos from the historical society in Mount Dora as well, I will also be featuring some of those. So thank you so much to those folks. Actually, our mom, when she went to Mount Dora, talked to one of the ladies at the town center or city center or something like that. So either that or the museum. And she gave a bunch of information to my mom for the podcast. So I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Chamber Mount Dora.
Yes, thank you to the Chamber of Mount Dora. So the city of Mount Dora, there are legends that say that the large and beautiful lake, which the city grew on, is named after Miss Dora Ann Drawdy, who was born 1819 and died 1885. She homesteaded in the mid 1800s and ended up becoming friends with a lot of federal surveyors, and they really enjoyed her warm hospitality, basically.
I thought you were going to say warm hugs.
I'm sure she looks like she's a good hugger, to be honest.
Really?
She does look like a great hugger. Now, in 1846, a surveyor named Lake Dora for her because of her kindness. Then in 1883, the small town started to grow and grow and was named after the lake. So today, Miss Drawdy, she was buried in Umatilla, Florida, which is a small city in Lake County known as nature's hometown and the gateway to Ocala National Forest.
Oh my goodness, that's so sweet. Okay, I have a question that I think everyone's wondering.
Okay.
Because I'm wondering it and I'm being incredibly selfish right now. Mount Dora. We're in Florida.
You need to relax.
Is it a mountain?
You need to relax.
Is it a mountain?
Angelica.
I need to know, is it a mountain?
Angelica.
Is it a mountain?
No. And you know that. Because we just started. Let's understand. I didn't even give you 6 minutes of information there.
I'm already excited.
I need you to relax.
I'm just excited.
Please let me get through this. You guys shut up too. Okay. Here we go. Researchers had found that there was also the name Lake Dora in 1848 on some of the survey maps that were published as well. The William and Dora Ann Drawdy family is listed as farmers in Georgia, not Florida, on the 1850 U.S. Census, and they arrived in Mount Dora before the 1860 census. So the mystery remains of the identity of the first Dora for whom the lake is named. Bum, bum, bum. Wow, look at her being quiet for once. It's a little scary. More settlers came into the area after Miss Drawdy, including Mr. Ross C. Tremaine and Captain John Philip Donnelly. And they each also contributed to the crucial growing of settlements in the area. So Tremaine became known as the town's first official postmaster in 1880, which last episode we just talked all about. Say it.
Feet.
No.
The barefoot mailman.
Say it with more enthusiasm.
The barefoot mailman.
Anyways, so he was the first official postmaster there in 1880, and the town was known as Royou. I'm going to put the name right there. Royellou. It was named at the time and unofficially named for Tremaine's 3 children, Roy, Ella, and Lewis. Royalou? Hey. 3 years later, the town's name was officially changed to Mount Dora to reflect the fact that the settlement rests upon a plateau 184 feet above sea level, an unusual feature in Florida. Yes, ma'am.
Can I just say how interesting it is that his name was Tremaine, and he had 3 kids. 3.
Oh, 3. Wow, good for you.
The name does lead to your fate. Be careful when you name your children. PSA.
Lucifer. All right. So the city, as it was growing, was actually an extremely popular winter retreat for snowbirds. And for those of you that are in the winter lands and you don't know what a snowbird is, it is not the actual snowbird. Be truth there. Very adorable. It is you when you get too cold and you come down here to us for salvation. It was an extremely popular place for not only people to retreat to over the winter, but also hunters, fishermen, boaters, and the Alexander House was opened in 1883. This is a 2-story hotel with only 10 rooms. A hotel. Yeah, I heard myself.
Snowbirds at the hoot.
At the hotel. Now, this hotel was renamed the Lake House in 1893. And in 1903, the Lake House was renamed Lakeside Inn and remains in operation today. We will be talking a lot about the Lakeside Inn next episode. Now, visitors included Presidents Coolidge and Eisenhower, Thomas Edison, and Henry Ford.
Whoa, just to clarify, Henry Ford and Thomas Edison were not presidents. That's insane.
No, they weren't. No, it was Presidents Coolidge and Eisenhower, and then also Thomas Edison and following Henry Ford.
That's crazy.
Yes. In 1887, they started having their railroads being built. And this obviously boosted local economy, as we see throughout Florida history. Something that you will find in common within a majority of Florida is that the railroad will boost economy immediately after it being implanted into the society. Unfortunately, taking away certain land, but also fortunately assisting in trade.
We're just like the Wild West, but the Wild South. We need them railroads. I'm not going to say the next part. I'm going to say the next part. Yuck.
Oh, okay. All right. Now, something I found actually really, really cool was, much like in Davie, there was an orange packing house over in Mount Dora. So, Tremaine actually opened the first orange packing house. This was during 1891. Now, a lot of the surrounding groves had been destroyed by the Great Freezes of 1894 and 1895. Do you remember those?
Yeah.
Because you were there, because you're so old.
Yeah. I'm so old. I knew all of Tremaine's all 3 children.
So this also during the 1890s, the fertilizer factories were established, as well as a cannery.
A cannery?
A cannery.
No, a cannery.
Yes, a cannery.
A cannery?
Then let's jump over to 1910. The town was granted a charter with Captain John Philip Donnelly, who was also the first mayor.
Oh.
And at the time, there were only 371 residents in Mount Dora. And they also established and boasted 2 general stores, a hardware store, a drugstore, 2 churches, and a town hall, all during Donnelly's, I almost said reign as mayor.
Honestly, though.
Time.
Let's be real.
Time.
Mayors, they reign their towns / cities.
Oh, well.
Are mayors the same in towns as cities? Like, we both have mayors, right?
The mayor's, the town of Davie.
Yeah.
Yeah, city of Fort Lauderdale has its own mayor.
Yeah. Okay.
Because technically we're in a town, and then Cooper City has its own mayor. Yeah, everyone has its own mayor.
Yeah. I don't know why I asked.
And then Broward County has its governor.
Our mayors reign us.
Or is it mayor?
Day after day.
Here, Broward County. Ooh,
what laws will they pass next? What will they have us do next in the name of their
science? I kind of wanted to jump also to this timeline. Now, I will tell you something about Mount Dora's Mount Dora's Historical Society. They have, which if you go on the website, I am not telling you the entire timeline. It is massive.
Oh, nice.
So
they
from
have the whole timeline?
1840 to the current 2000s, they have a full timeline. So each year, whatever happened, they have like bulleted there so that you can see everything that's happened and all the accomplishments.
Keep records.
100.
Tough.
It is insane. Like, I was reading it and I go, oh, that's crazy. And I started scrolling and then I kept scrolling and I was like, oh, this is like all of it. This is crazy.
It's really tough to keep a timeline, especially like in a town, because I know in Davie, like here where we are, doxing ourselves, but like there's different like little historical groups and little business groups that, you know, like they have their own history, but they don't necessarily like share or communicate. Not because like we're trying to withhold. It's just like if you have a family and you're like, I didn't know you had that picture of mom. And then you're like, yeah, I had this picture since we took it. She gave it to me when she died. And you're like, oh, whoa, I thought it was lost forever. Like that's the kind of thing we have in town. So it's really impressive to have a full timeline set up for the town.
Yeah, it is really cool. And some of the dates in here, like on our birthdays, I wanted to say what happened on our birthday years. And also on your birthday, actually, something happened in 1881.
What?
So, like, these are fun. I'm just going to jump around on some of these dates because it's really cool. And one of them is, like, we were just talking about Captain Donnelly. Okay. Him and his wife, Annie, in 1881, they ended up being named, like, the best power couple in
Oh my gosh. That is too
1881,
wholesome.
Annie and JP married. Historians have acknowledged them as Mount Dora's first power couple.
Well,
It makes me really happy.
it is Mount Dora of 370 population. So, I mean,
pretty cool.
a little small.
Now,
But pretty
1881.
cool. I want to see a rom-com about that.
I know, right? Captain and Annie.
Why don't we have more 1800s rom-coms? You know
We
what I'm saying?
kind of did.
But no,
You know what, like, Bing Crosby did and all that stuff. They're technically rom-coms.
that's true.
They're rom. Okay.
So on touche.
Do you want to know what happened on your birthday in 1881?
What happened?
On September 17th, public school district number 59 was established. So you nerd. So the town had the first school shortly thereafter.
Why did I expect anything different?
It's very Virgo.
Virgo coded.
Virgo coded. So the school's first teacher was actually 16-year-old Edith Gates, daughter of settler Horatio Gates. 16 years old. The school was available to Black children only when the white children were not using it. I know. Now, in 1890, Willie C. Corley became the first pastor of Mount Olive African Methodist Episcopal Church and donated land for the congregation's first church. So that was one of the two churches that was there.
I love these names, Mount Olive.
Yeah, no, the names here are gorgeous. The Great Freeze of 1894 and 1895 went down to 17 degrees. That's wild here.
You wouldn't see me outside.
No. And then the Mount Zion Primitive Baptist Church, located where old 441 road meets the new 441 highway, was also built. So that is the other church that we had mentioned prior. So the Great Freeze actually continued during the night of February 7th, 1895. Many of the mature citrus trees had survived earlier freezes, but they ended up being pretty harmed by the weather this time. A number of residents and their crops were just completely destroyed. And a lot of people ended up moving out of Mount Dora because of it.
That makes sense.
Such as O.W. Sadler Jr. and James Simpson. They ended up deciding to tempt fate by being some of the first to restart buying land to start farming there because people were so upset. Yeah.
Whoa. I wonder if they thought like it was going to freeze again or if they just ran out of money. Because you'd have to imagine that a lot of people are investing a lot of money. And, you know, once you lose it, you lose it. So they might have gone back to their families and their companies back in the north, wherever that was. So pretty crazy to think about. It's not even just tempting fate. It's like you lost your money. You lost your investment.
All right. And then in 1895, there was also Chautauqua, which Mrs. Emma Sadler produced a presentation titled Sham Battle of the Blue and the Gray. Local Civil War veterans from both sides participated in uniform.
That's interesting.
Some more education stuff, like in 1904, Emma Sadler launched the Mount Dora Improvement Society. So literally what it's saying. And then Betsy Mather Rogers donated 150 books, mostly history and biography volumes. That was the foundation of Mount Dora's library.
There you go. Keeping the history alive.
Yep, for sure. Now let's jump to our birth years.
What do you mean?
Our birth years.
Really?
Yeah.
Stuff happened?
Stuff happened in 1993 and 1996.
That's crazy. This is exciting. This is about us.
I feel like I'm about to get my tarot cards read.
I know.
Okay. Angelica.
Okay.
in 1993
What's
in
Mount
Mount Dora.
Oh.
The storm of the century hit Mount Dora on the evening of March 13th, the day after my birthday, 1993. Oh, hold. We need to check if it was Friday the 13th.
That'd be so crazy.
You know, we always check this. So it was a Saturday. It wasn't a Friday.
Oh, man. Skip by one day.
Man. So the storm actually was the creator of several small tornadoes in the Mount Dora area.
What?
And it topped over about 500 oak trees.
Wow,
And
this is not good news for my year.
Well, hey, you know, you live and you learn. And it destroyed a dozen homes and damaged 250 others. And it had killed 3 people.
Not a yay year. Not a yay year.
Now, then Mount Dora established the Historic Preservation Board in March. And Bernice Brinson became Mount Dora's city manager. The fire and police departments relocated to a new building at the corner of Donnelly Street and Lincoln Avenue. So that is what happened during your birthday.
Yay for that stuff.
Are you ready for mine?
I bet awesome stuff happened.
No. The Mount Dora's Grower Cooperative closed after losing many members and suffering significant financial losses.
Oh my goodness. What's wrong? Are we bad omens?
I don't know. The Land Development Code was passed by Mount Dora City Council, and the code included sections on zoning, site plans, design standards, and architectural standards. Now, in 1988, they had their first music festival. That was not our birth year.
Yay, 1988.
1988, yay.
Yay, music.
Yay, music. So yeah, and in the 2000s, they mostly just record the new mayors and stuff like that. You just mainly have records of new mayors because it is a historical city. Because it was a historical city. So but as the city grew, we're going to, jump back. I wanted to give you guys a sense of the timeline and how fun it would be. I encourage you to search your birth year in Mount Dora. They have like almost every year.
That's really funny.
It's really funny.
What happened on your year?
That's why I felt like I was reading my astrological signs through Mount Dora.
Millennial Dream, the BuzzFeed quizzes.
Yeah. Well,
check your birth year.
Let me tell you. We'll jump over to 1910, which is when Davie was starting to become established as a town.
Wow.
So in 1910, the town was granted a charter with Captain John Philip Donnelly, which was the first mayor, right? So he had his home, which was named Queen Anne. Oh, he had a home that was a Queen Anne style structure. And I will put it here. It is gorgeous.
Interesting.
It looks like a little dollhouse. It is, well, not little. Little is not the word. But in 1893 is when it was built. And it's now listed as the National Register of Historic Places.
I want to check that out.
And yeah, it's still there. In the early 1920s, it was a significant boom in residential growth and business development. Mount Dora began to transform from a town to a city.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I don't think it's copywritten.
Well, you're really off tune, so I don't think it took me actually a second. I'm not kidding. It took me a second to realize what you were singing.
Are you saying that my singing is so bad that the YouTube algorithm
will never copyright it? Now, during this time, Mount Dora also began investing in its infrastructure. So, like streetlights, water systems, curbs, stop signs, safety, right? Things that a city needs to function, basically.
Unless you want to live on the dangerous side. The side where anything could happen. In Mount Dora.
Yeah.
Turn the lights off. See what happens.
Close the door. Anyway, they also started to establish their 2 public parks, the first 2 at least, Gilbert Park and Donnelly Park. They were created after the landowners Earl Gilbert and J.P. Donnelly, and they had actually donated prime pieces of land along Lake Dora's shore for the parks. The community building was built largely from funds raised by Mount Dora's residents despite economic hardships during the late 20s. A group of determined residents were brought together and raised a incredible amount of funds. And in 1929, the impressive Mediterranean-style structure opened with one seat for every Mount Dora resident.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. So that's that's approximately 800
What if someone
seats.
had a kid?
Well, then you hold them. And since then, the building has served as the society's primary performance and meeting venue.
That's cool.
In 2009, the citizens again came together, once again, despite economic challenges, to actually restore it. They improved the seatings, assisted the structure improvements, and expanded the lobby while at the same time preserving its unique style and exterior.
Very cool.
Now, Mount Dora today, can you guess how many residents they have?
1,238.
Mount Dora is now home to more than 13,000 folks.
Well, if you added a 0 to what I said.
Okay.
And then...
Also 3,000?
And then rounded up from what I said, it would have been correct. I'm just saying. Let me know if I'm right in the comments.
You're wrong. You're wrong. Actually, what's really cool about Mount Dora today is that it is a huge artistic location.
Oh, really?
So they have crafts fairs, arts fairs. While our parents were there, I think it was a crafts fair. I don't think it was like the arts fair, but it was a crafts fair. So they shut down streets. They do everything.
That's cool.
And one of the coolest things about Mount Dora okay, you need to stop making fun of how I talk because I have some more. Let's talk a little bit about two men. These two were basically responsible for a lot of the education in Mount Dora, and we were talking about like a lot of people coming in the first library and everything. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's first talk about Nathaniel Bell. Now, Nathaniel Bell was a teacher, and I will put a portrait of him here. But this picture was taken in 1969, originally from Lake County, Bell, and he served the United States Navy as a musician from 1955 to 1957.
Ooh, interesting.
After obtaining a Bachelor of Science degree from Florida A&M University, he continued to serve as a member of the U.S. Naval Reserve while working full-time as a teacher at the Milner Rosenwald Academy.
In the Navy.
Basically. In 1979, he served a 2-year term on the Mount Dora City Council promoting the Homes in Partnership program and the Northeast community. Bell received a Master of Education degree from his alma mater in 1985, and he was a teacher at a few other schools in Lake County, including Mount Dora Middle School and Eustis Middle School, where he also served as assistant principal.
He's done a lot. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what a life, dude.
Bell was married to Jimmy Lee for 49 years from 1958 to his death in 2007. He is buried in Pine Forest Cemetery in Mount Dora. I'm going to have a picture of Nathaniel Bell from when he was teaching. But basically, in 1975, this is one of the pictures of him at the Eustis Middle School. He was just basically a really important part of the education and town history. We're also going to talk about Mr. Lott, L-O-T-T.
I bet he's done a lot.
Cowley Lott. The photo that I'm going to show is from 1975. Cowley Ormond Lott was a Mount Dora Black community leader from the 1940s through the 1970s. Mr. Lott came to Mount Dora from Cocoa, Florida in 1938. Having received a bachelor's degree from FAMU, Florida A&M University, and a master's degree from the University of Pittsburgh, he first served as a teacher, then accepted the role of principal at Milner Rosenwald Academy in 1947, and continued as such for 23 years. That's a long time to be a principal. Good for him, because
that's a lot of years.
I wonder how many people did this to him. You know what I mean?
He was a principal.
Everyone
did it.
Everyone did that to him.
Everyone who walked through those halls. Maybe it skipped a cohort or something, but
you know they were making jokes.
They're making jokes.
So he championed new initiatives to assist with the growth of the community's children and instituted a school lunch and nutrition program.
Oh, dang. Nice.
His retirement as a school principal did not end his leadership journey. In 1972, he ran for city council and obtained the first elected position for a Black person in Mount Dora's municipal government.
Wow.
After his passing, Calumet Park was dedicated in his honor. The park is located in the intersection of the Highland Street and Pine Avenue. And that
Pretty cool.
That was him. Because this was an arts and cultural town, I want to talk about a really pretty house that's located there because it's really pretty.
And it's not the St. Anne house.
No, it's pretty.
Okay.
It's called the Van Gogh house.
What?
There is a house in Mount Dora that is completely painted in Van Gogh's Starry Night.
What?
Insert photo here. Okay, now, it is a hand-painted home. Hand-painted. It's not like vinyl or any crap like that. This is a hand-painted home. So this is an article from Atlas Obscura, who covered this in 2017. In 2017, homeowners had their property's sidewall painted with Van Gogh's signature Starry Night. The painting is a favorite of their autistic son, and they had the artwork added to help guide him home if he ever got lost. Gorgeous.
That just turned so wholesome.
Who's crying? I'm crying.
It was interesting and cool.
You're like, wow, how cool people. And then you're like, oh my heart. After receiving pushback and fines from the city to remove the initial mural, the owners doubled down on the artistic theme and started adding Van Gogh details to their home's exterior walls as well. Everywhere.
Hell yeah.
The following years saw legal battles in which the homeowners won the right to keep their property's artistic details.
This is with the HOA?
It's probably an HOA.
Don't come after us, but...
We don't have one, so you know what?
Dudes.
I don't like it.
Come on, dude.
I don't like it too much sometimes. Sometimes you're not so nice to people.
Let people show their personalities.
Their poor son.
Like, I understand, like, not having, I guess, grass up to the ceiling, but, like, help a girl out if she can't cut her grass because something's going on with her life. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Anyway, whatever. Back to the Van Gogh's house.
Well, since they had won all of their legal battles, they constantly receive fresh coats of paint that keep the mural vibrant. Many locals celebrate the Van Gogh house's art, symbolism, and art. Heart, symbolism, and art.
Heart and art.
That was rough. Okay.
Oh,
today, the murals,
sweet.
It is very nice. Today, the mural wraps around the entire home, exterior walls, the garage, property walls, and support columns. They're all painted to match the Van Gogh Starry Night theme.
I love that so much. Oh my
gosh,
why did you stop with that one? It was so sentimental.
It is very sentimental.
It's such a sweet story.
And I can't wait to post pictures. It is such a pretty house.
Can I see pictures?
Yeah, you want to see pictures? It's like all Van Gogh themed. So it's not just Starry Night. You've also got, what's the one with the bed? And stuff like that. Anyways,
I'm not an art
you can go look
historian.
Through it.
Oh my goodness. I feel like I've seen this before too.
You might have. It's really popular.
Guys,
it's gorgeous.
I just want to say, like, why would anyone create like a legal issue? But
that is the history of Mount Dora. I highly recommend going and visiting. It is very relaxing over there. Angelica and I really want to go visit. They do have ghost tours. Also, Mount Dora has ghost tours.
Something to check out. Something to do at night.
At night. Yes, they have
Mount Dora after dark.
Yeah, and they have one of their ghost tours is labeled the longest standing Mount Dora ghost tour.
Really?
Yeah, the longest running Mount Dora ghost tour.
That's interesting.
And I was like, whoa, pissing contest. But
hey guys, congratulations on your title.
It's cool. It's cool to be the longest running person. But your legs gotta get tired, huh? Anyways, that was Mount Dora. That was the history. Next episode, we are going to be learning about the darker side of Mount Dora, my friend.
I'm excited. I'm so excited. I can't wait to find out what was so spooky, scary skeletons over there. What?
Spooky, scary skeletons. All right, anyway. We're having too much fun here. We're about to record the next episode for you, so catch us next time. My name's Alexandra.
Oh, right.
We have an outro.
And I'm Angelica.
And this is Legends of Yesterday. Thank you, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye.